We have a new guest today at Connected Farmer. We are going to talk about everything about the Argentinian crops and its impact on the world markets with a brand new guest. His name is Pablo Adreani, right here on Connected Farmer, your channel to keep you up to date with the latest trends in agriculture and livestock. So we have today a new guest. Hopefully he will be a frequent guest. His name is Pablo Adriani, an analyst, an experienced analyst from Buenos Aires, Argentina. And he's going to talk a lot about his knowledge and everything you need to know about Argentinian agriculture. So, Pablo, there has been a record of planting in Argentina in this season, according to the Buenos Aires Cereal Exchange. What do you think is the reason behind that? And thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much, Luis. First of all, I want to thank you for share this important podcast and TV set for your farmers in the US. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here and share with all the audience that you have the main things that are going on in Argentina. As you question, the situation is the following. At the end of December, the area sown with soybeans in Argentina reached 85% of a total sowing area of 18.4 million hectares. This is an increase of close of 1 million hectares from the area planted a year ago. With this planting area, soybean production in Argentina could reach at a record of 55 million metric tons. To have a comparison, US production is about 121 million tons. Brazil is at a record of 170 million tons. So the three major countries that produce soybeans in the world, Argentina, Brazil, and the United States, share about the 80% of the production and are the main exporters of grain as a whole grain. This season in Argentina, mainly during the spring, had a very long period of drought in our country. And the rains came later for September. And this affected the early corn that usually is planted in August and September. So the rains only arrived in October. For these reasons, Argentine farmers could not plant corn, the first crop corn, due to lack of humidity in the soil. So they reluctant to plant 1 million hectares. These 1 million hectares went to soybeans. That's the reason why the soybean acreage has been increased in 1 million hectares. This is very important.
This is a very significant number. And for those who are not familiar with Argentinian agriculture, explain the difference between the first and the second soybean crops. As a lot of people are familiar with that concept in Brazil, but it's a little different in Argentina, where it's not a different season exactly.
Yes, just as in an introduction, in the United States, the window season for plant soybeans is about 2 months or less. The US farmer has 45 days to plant the soybeans. In Argentina, we have September, October, November, December, and even January. We have 5 months to plant soybeans. So the first crop soybeans is planted usually in September, October. And this is the soybeans that produce the highest yields per hectare of our country. This first crop soybeans, yes, area is concentrated in the what we call the core zone all the soybean herd. This is north of Buenos Aires, south of Santa Fe. This is the main area where the yields are between 5,000 to 6,000 kilos per hectare. So this is the first crop. Okay, the second crop is the crop that is planted after the winter crops, after the wheat, malting barley, forage barley, and this is usually happen on November. So the second crop is planted on November, on December. As this crop has a very short period or cycle of evolution of the beans, the yields are 50% of the yields of the main crop. Yes. And in the case of Brazil, Luis, Brazil has uh, what they call the safrinha in the case of corn. The safrinha of corn in Brazil is planted after the beans in Brazil. In Argentina, we have a safrinha for soybeans, which is the second crop of soybeans, which is planted after the winter crops. This is the main difference. And the window season for planting in Brazil is close to between 4 and 6 months.
Yes. And everybody is wondering what the Argentinian farmers are going to do in terms of the market. Do you think they are willing to sell the corn or soybeans? And how are the stocks at this point?
Well, as you know, Argentina has export taxes of 33%. This affected the price of the beans. At this stage, the prices for the Argentine beans for the harvest time, April, May, coming months, is about $164 per metric ton. To give you an idea, U.S. farmers has a cash price of 300 US dollars per metric tons. Farmers are in Argentina has 164. So you have to, this price has discounted 33% of export taxes. At this point, if Argentine farmers sell their crop at this price, they go into red numbers. They go in bankruptcy. Yes. So this is one thing that is in the main stakeholders and in the media in our country. With this price, 80% of the farmers in Argentina goes to bankruptcy. What can the farmers do? We have two options. Chicago prices in soybeans go up $150 in 2 months, which is not probable, or the government reduced the export taxes from 33% to something like 20, 25, 18, or whatever. This is what the market is expected for. The government has to move quickly, otherwise the farmers will go in red numbers and they will sell, but they will lose money. This is the main factor, Luis, that will affect the commercialization of the soybeans in Argentina and will affect also all the chains of the soybeans, including the industry, exporters, and we will have very tough times if the government don't reduce the export taxes immediately.
Yes, how soon do you think is that's going to happen? Because according to the last budget sent by President Milei to the Argentinian Congress, export taxes cuts were not contemplated. So when do you think it's going to happen? Do you think there'll be a lot more pressure?
I think that this is a very interesting question because it's the subject which is over discussion in all the country, in the Farmers Union, in the Industry Association, Export Association, uh, to clarify the export taxes. Actually, the corn and the wheat has to pay 12% of export taxes for the government, and for the soybeans, they have to pay 33%. As you say, yes, the government announced it 30, 40 days ago during in a speech with the Argentine Rural Society that they will reduce the export taxes sometime in 2025. This is the worst sentences for the farmers. The president and the Minister of Economy told the farmers, we will reduce the export taxes sometime during 2025. What means sometime? March, April, July? And this is the main discussion, because if the farmers decide to announce the reduction on export taxes of soybeans during the farm show on July, it's late for the farmers that harvest the beans in May, June. And so this is the main point of discussion. I believe that the government will receive big pressure from the farmers union, from all the integrated of the chains of the soybeans to reduce the export taxes on March. In July is late because the farmers will go in bankruptcy and they will not sell the soybeans if they know that they are going to bankruptcy. They will try to withhold the beans, don't sell, stop the commercialization. This affected the export of beans. This affected the crushing of beans to produce soybean meal and soybean oil. And in this point, it's very important that to know that farmers has actually 15 million metric tons of cash soybeans of the last crop. Actually, 15 million metric tons. In a total harvest of 40 million tons last year, farmer has close to 40% of the crop in his hands. And I believe that they will not sell these beans in a good shape because they know that the farmers will reduce the export taxes. So both the old crop beans, cash markets, and the new crop beans, May, June of this year, farmer will try to withhold the much as possible, and this will affect the offer of beans, meal, and oil from Argentina to the world market. This is an opportunity for the US market and for the Brazilian farmers as well.
Again, we are with Pablo Adreani. His company is Agripac. I invite everyone to look at his website and uh, please make sure you subscribe because he will be back here. So, Pablo, give us the last word for this edition.
I think that the war is in a big crisis from different point of view. You have a crisis in the Black Sea with Russia and Ukraine, that they are this affected the wheat market. Russia and Ukraine export 62 million metric tons of wheat to the world market, while the second country is Europe with 27, US with 25. So it's a big market that is provided by the Black Sea in the case of wheat, and is affecting the wheat market as well. Also, the Black Sea export mainly Ukraine. Ukraine is the fourth export of corn in the world after United States, Brazil, Argentina, and then Ukraine. And they are not exporting the corn in good shape due to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. In this sense, President Trump has announced that they will try to make an agreement between Russia and Ukraine to stop the war And when this happens, the markets will go to the bearish market because the offer will be free for the market. But this is just a supposition. I don't know. I don't know when Trump will announce that and how much time will take to reach at the peace in this region. And in the case of soybeans, the main factor is the record beans crop in Brazil of 170 million tons of soybeans. This is amazing. And in this sense, China, in advance with Trump impose of import taxes for China products, China has withdrawn from the U.S. soybeans market and is buying soybeans from Brazil. So this is another factor that is affecting in the market. So as you will see, we are in the middle of a heavy storm in the world in different geographical areas for different geopolitical decisions.
Thank you very much, Pablo. I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Good. My best regards to your audience, to the U.S. farmers, and to the U.S. company that are related with the agribusiness worldwide.